This is Total Coverage on Channel 5 Eyewitness News 5 at 5. Today's top story.
It's rush hour for Minnesota's holiday hustle. Tonight, local shoppers wrestle the crowds even as we slip the grasp of our Minnesota winter. Good evening. Randy has the night off.
The light rain across the metro right now may not turn into a fierce winter storm after all. The rain started early this afternoon, and as you can see, it is soaking the streets, creating more problems with slush than ice at this hour. We have a live look now from 35W at 38th Street in South Minneapolis. As you can see, a lot of traffic out there, but it's moving along at a pretty steady pace. Dave Dahl is in Weather Center 5 right now tracking the storms. Dave, we're getting the rain as expected, but what's coming next?
Well, Callie, right now it is changing over to some snow in the southwestern part of the state. The rain is light for the time being, but it is getting heavier as it's moving in our direction. We're expecting to see that trend last for the next several hours. Take a look at Storm Tracker 5, and you can see some moderate to heavy rain just down to our south from Corcoran to Long Lake, all the way down through the Burnsville and Cottage Grove areas, and that is headed north-northeast at about 35 miles per hour, even mixed with some sleet at times. I'm going to tell you when it should change over to snow and how much we could get right here in the metro in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Gas is back on tonight for people in a small Minnesota town. A natural gas supply line broke overnight in Byron, Minnesota. That's just west of Rochester. More than 1,000 people woke up without heat. Crews actually went door to door relighting pilot lights. An Underwood, Minnesota man is dead after a Thanksgiving Day carbon monoxide accident. Police say 37-year-old Gregory Hemp was overcome by CO fumes while working on his car in a garage. A friend found him yesterday afternoon. Police say the death is an accident.
Like Thanksgiving, day after shopping is also a tradition for many Minnesotans. This morning, we caught up with families waiting in long lines to get in on big holiday savings. About 200 people lined up outside this Shoreview Target store. That was before it opened at 7 a.m. They were in search of gift bargains and this year's popular toys.
That's the big deal?
Yeah, you're going to be sorry you didn't pick one up. That's the big deal.
That would be Tickle Me Elmo, and for those who were looking for one, this Target store sold out of Tickle Me Elmos within just a couple of hours today. And for those of you who like the internet and would like to avoid the stores altogether, you can shop on the web. There's a new product out there called Big Yellow. So if you're surfing the net, you can type in bigyellow.com to use one of the most popular online shopping services. Whether you're shopping tonight in cyberspace or at the malls, retailers expect you to spend more this year. In fact, Channel 5's Heidi Deja could not find any shoppers today who expected to stick to their budget.
I think I'm going to have to find another shopping cart.
Mabel Snavely is on a mission.
Oh, reinforcements.
To put a serious dent in her Christmas shopping. With her cart overflowing, she is not shopping by list or on a budget.
I'm looking for a...
We won't give away her surprises.
I bought them some... and I'm buying them some...
But we can tell you she's shopping for 3 kids and there is no end in sight.
Just my cart. It's got to go in layaway.
This is Annette Jansen's Christmas cart.
I'm looking for... Who the heck is...
Annette says she is trying to put a limit on holiday spending.
Every year I go over my budget, just like everybody else, so. Yeah, I plan on spending maybe about $300-400 at least for starters. I figure about $150 to $200 per child.
2 women, 1 on a budget, each on a mission.
Because of the way the holidays fall this year, there are actually fewer shopping days in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so many stores started seeing holiday shoppers a few weeks ago.
I'm going to get these games because they're on sale.
The number crunchers keep saying Midwesterners will outpace the rest of the nation's shoppers, partly because our debt isn't as high.
How much money is in this whole area? What do you think it's going to be?
Maybe $100.
Try more like $200. Still, Mabel, like Annette, is avoiding credit card bills and jumping on the layaway bandwagon. Heidi Deja, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
And if you need some help planning or keeping to your budget, write down this phone number. It's 349-6953. That's Consumer Credit Counseling of Minnesota. Those folks can help you with your problems. The number again, 349-6953. We'll repeat this number at the end of our newscast.
So where are most of the holiday shoppers? Well, a new study shows people head to traditional bargain stores first. Nearly 2/3 of adults say discount stores are the way to go. Almost half say they will shop at department stores. 35% say A superstore. More than a quarter head to factory outlets and do their shopping in catalogs. Fewer than 10% will shop by internet or television. It seems as though retailers would try just about anything to get you into their stores this time of year. In just over an hour, one of the biggest events designed to get people into downtown Minneapolis is about to step off. Channel 5's Michael Gargiulo is live downtown, and of course we're talking about Holly Dazzle, designed to draw people away from the Mall of America. Is it working?
Well, they're about to find out. They say they've been doing this for 5 years, and they say it has worked in the past. It's these lights, Chris, that you see behind me. This is one of the Holidazzle floats, and I don't want to give away any secrets, but it's through this doorway. There you go. You can see inside. Someone actually gets in there, and they'll walk and maneuver this thing, this cake, as it were, down the Nicollet Mall in the hopes of drawing people down here. They're going to have this parade. Someone said, they're doing this even though it's raining. The answer is yes. Here's another thing that's going to come down the Nicollet Mall. Santa's sleigh, you can see it here. And this is all part of the plan to have a lot of excitement. They're going to have the 100th of these parades coming up pretty soon. Here's some more floats that you see. The giant soldier man over here. And over here, the Chinese dragon. Let's take a quick look at Skycam. We want to tell you also that at 6:30, we're going to look at the effect of this parade and how it affects business between here and the Mall of America. We'll see how this fits into the downtown strategy coming up in a live report at 6:30. See you then, Chris.
Logical question is, did the crowd come out tonight?
Well, you know, there's not a lot of people out right now, but that's because it's raining, and a lot of people watch this event from the skyways, so we'll see how it feels in about a half hour. See you then, Chris.
Thank you. Michael Gargiulo reporting live from downtown.
Covering the Twin Cities at 5, anti-fur activists call today Fur-Free Friday, and they want you to remember it. In Minneapolis, fur protesters dragged traps and carried signs to greet shoppers outside of Dayton's on Nicollet Mall. They wanted to disrupt businesses that sell furs, especially those owned by Federated department stores. Federated owns hundreds of stores, including Macy's. 2 fur demonstrators were arrested for trespassing at Macy's at the Mall of America today. In response to today's national protests, Macy's officials say when no one wants to buy fur, retailers won't sell it.
The best holiday gift dozens of high school athletes could get tonight is the state championship. Right now, 2 teams have conquered their titles. 3 more are on the line. And Channel 5's Eric Gisselson is live at the Metrodome for Prep Bowl 96.
Chris, thank you. Class B title game action behind me. Wyndham and Breck. It's 17-7 in favor of Breck right now, and I know that's good news for your household. Just when you think the Dome is such a rotten place to play football, think about playing outside in Prep Bowl 1996 on a night like tonight. The big game tonight is the Class AA, where undefeated Eden Prairie goes up against 10-3 Blaine in the Class AA championship. We will have more on that game coming up for you at 6 o'clock, but one of the games that are in the books here at the Metrodome is also in the record books. You know, they only may be 9-man football teams, but today Cromwell and Verndale sure racked up the points in the 9-man title. The Cards jumped out to the big lead. They led in the third quarter 38-24 when Tyler Homestead is rumbling towards the end zone. He fumbles the ball on the goal line, but teammate Carl Switzer's there to recover. Touchdown Cromwell. They lead 46-24. Verndale refused to give up, though. They roared back in the fourth. Joe Kearns hammers one home from the 1 to get the Pirates to within 2 points. But then on the 2-point conversion, a bad snap of all things, and Cromwell recovers and hangs on to win it 46-44, the 90 points in the Prep Bowl record for total points in a football game. Class C title game, Chatfield and Holly involved in a much more defensive game. Tim Walker looking for Luke Tiki. He's got him. 72 yards for Chatfield, and they led 7-0. Their defense also played great. Holly got to within 12-7, but they would end up getting sacked for a 5-point loss. Chatfield is your 1996 Class C champion. In the Class B game this afternoon, Breck and Wyndham, of course, behind me. It is still 17-7. Northfield and Moore in Class A, and Eden Prairie going up against Blaine in AA. We'll be back here at 6:20 for more in sports.
All right, Eric Gisselson reporting live for the Dome. Thank you. New information for Minnesotans in the fight against AIDS virus. Coming up, why keeping your sexuality a secret may be a factor in how fast AIDS kills.
A transplant saved his life, and tonight, Brian Bauman and his amazing comeback from cancer.
First, though, here's another look at the preparations for the big Holly Dazzle parade down on Nicollet Mall tonight. That steps off at 6:30. It is a little rainy. Hey, if you plan to see this, don't finish making your weekend plans until you see Dave Dahl's forecast, and that's coming up next. Rain and more rain. At least we're not going to get this big dump of snow this week.
It doesn't look like it because the storm system is kind of missing us. Plus, it's giving us a lot of rain first. A lot of moisture is being lost from this storm in the form of rain in southern Minnesota. And it is changing over to snow, though, as close as New Ulm, and I'll show you that. But out there right now, it is just rain across the metro and, of course, wet roadways. 35 is our current temp. The good news is it isn't icy out there. The dew point now at 30 and a southeast wind at 9 miles per hour. Of course, we've been tracking this storm in the form of rain across Minnesota using Doppler Radar 5 all day long. It's been showing the area increasing down to the south. And look how it just implants itself over the eastern part of the state. But then look at this heavy band that is now just moving through the southern portions of the metro. And if we can zoom in a little bit and use Storm Tracker, you can see that it extends right across the downtown areas of Minneapolis and St. Paul, all the way up to about Corcoran, as far south as Burnsville, over to about Cottage Grove, Woodbury, and then on into west central Wisconsin. And that's just a heavy to moderate area of rain. But there's also some mixed sleet in there as well, because just down to the southwest now, along the Minnesota River, it has changed over to a mixture of sleet and snow. And that extends well down to our south. It is snowing right now in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. And look at all the moisture to come, and even a little bit of thunder and lightning in some of this activity down there in the southern part of Iowa. And all that is headed northward still. So we're still going to be in the moisture. And when that changeover occurs, that's going to be the key to how much snow we get. But right now it appears as though the band of snow will probably set up to our north with maybe an inch or two of slushy accumulation here in the Twin Cities. Of course, our temperatures are above the freezing point right now. We're at 35, 34 St. Cloud and Brainerd, and right around the freezing point out in the western portion of the state. And here's that band of snow, maybe 1 to 2 inches of slushy accumulation overnight tonight. The Weather Center 5 forecast right here in the metro then calls for rain changing to snow, 1 to 2 inches, 29 for the overnight low. For tomorrow then, expect to see light snow and flurries throughout the day and a high near 32. As we look ahead, well, that big shot of energy that was supposed to come up on Sunday misses us to our east. If you do have some friends and family coming back from Wisconsin, they could get about a half a foot of snow in the central portions of Wisconsin. So it's going to miss us just to the east, the way it appears right now. And we're still kind of on the edge of that storm on Sunday.
Well, kids wanted snow, but the people driving home from the holidays are really glad that this is happening. Thanks a lot, Dave. Well, he fought the good fight. Now he's planning the rest of his life. Channel 5 meets up with a cancer comeback kid for the holidays. Let's take a look now, though, live at the holiday traffic. This is 35W, and lots of holiday packages undoubtedly in the back seats of some of these cars. We'll be back in just a moment with more news.
Minnesota Air Force Cadet Brian Bauman is enjoying the holidays at home right now. He is recovering from a bone marrow transplant to fight his cancer. Channel 5's Benita Sawkar reports on this comeback kid who feels that he has beaten his leukemia.
It is really overwhelming.
Brian Bauman shows us just a handful of the thousands of cards he has received over the past year.
I think it says get well.
Brian says the support from all over the world has helped him reach the point he's at now.
I'm recovering and doing really well. I don't have any complications. So.
It's some welcome news. Since he was diagnosed with leukemia over a year ago, the search has been on for a suitable bone marrow donor. Last July, he got the transplant, and a month ago...
Been through a lot, but we're happy to have him home.
A special homecoming in Minnesota. Brian was adopted from Korea when he was 3 and was raised in Pine City. His close-knit family was right by his side through his fight to get well.
There's some points back in the last year that were tough. I've always been pretty positive that it'll turn out. It's just a matter of time.
Although his recovery is going well, Brian is still very vulnerable to germs. As an added precaution before he even came home, the Bauman family put in new carpet and bleached their walls.
I disagree, Excellency.
For now, Brian spends much of his day relaxing and gradually getting better.
I live more for today, and I just enjoy living.
His hope is to graduate from the Air Force Academy next year and someday become a doctor. Just as people helped him, Brian says he would like to help those in need. In Pine City, Benita Sawkar, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
Right now, Brian says he does not know when he'll be able to go back to school, but he does say that he will stay home with his family through Christmas before making any new plans.
A medical breakthrough tonight that may help hundreds of Minnesotans fight the AIDS virus. Next on Eyewitness News, how the closet is preventing some people with AIDS from getting the help they need to stay alive.
And here's a look at our downtown St. Paul Tower cam, looking down on Rice Park. The lights are on, as they have been for a week, making it a Beautiful, beautiful scene. We'll be right back.
This coming Sunday is World AIDS Day, and thanks to recent medical breakthroughs, including Minnesota AIDS research, real progress is being made in the treatment of AIDS. But in tonight's medical breakthrough, new research that HIV-infected gays who hide their sexuality get sick and even die from AIDS sooner than those who are out of the closet.
So in the years you worked at Wyatt Wheeler, you ever tell Charles Wheeler you were gay?
No, I didn't.
In the film Philadelphia, Tom Hanks plays an attorney who's suing his law firm for firing him because he has AIDS. He kept his homosexuality from his firm because he feared discrimination. Discrimination is one of many reasons some gays keep their sexuality secret. A recent study shows gay men infected with HIV who keep their homosexuality quiet may die sooner than those who are open about their sexuality.
There's a long-standing hypothesis that says that people who have sort of shy, introverted, inhibited psychosocial characteristics might be at increased risks for certain kinds of illnesses, especially infectious diseases.
UCLA tested this theory by studying 80 gay men who were HIV positive over 9 years. It found that the infection progressed almost 2 years faster for those who were in the closet than those who were not.
What this study does is it suggests, but does not, definitively prove, that differences in psychological inhibition may relate to differences in physical health.
Leaders in LA's gay community feel that coming out might do more harm than good for some gays.
These people have personalities that make it difficult for them to do that, and so for them to come out all of a sudden might be too stressful and might have a bad physical effect.
Psychologists suggest closeted gays who feel stress might want to seek counseling to help them cope with their emotions. If you would like more information on this AIDS research, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Medical Breakthroughs in care of KSTP-TV, 3415 University Avenue, St. Paul 55114, and please specify AIDS.
Dave Dahl back with another look at the weather in just a moment. Dave's full forecast at 6.
That's our news. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at 6 o'clock today.